Yeah, indeed. Is my voice synchronized to see a little bit of glitching in the camera?
Camera's a bit glitchy, but your voice is fine, brother. And
Yeah.
just started recording. So what we got with the 26th of the 3rd, GPMS roundtable representative meetings with a few topics that we've already discussed, brother, to open up with, and then we'll see where it goes. So welcome all. It's a pleasure to be here again with you all. Oh, Dean's just dropped out. Let's get you back in. And let's go straight to Rick to start with. And let's see where we're going to go with, brother. Over to you.
No, thank you so much, brother. First thing, utmost gratitude for you chairing and these meetings that we have and taking care of all of that process involved with it. Um, having said this, we don't have usually a written agenda, as Lee just spoke of. But we did have a couple topics Lee and I just spoke on earlier we wish to bring up, and these are important topics not only for GPMS, but the entire world in the transitioning what is currently happening. And I wish to say at an exponential rate with what we're seeing with the alignment for GPMS, the divine plan, if you will, to take humanity swiftly and quickly forward. And no pun with the swiftly word, if you will.
Some will get that, some might not.
Yeah. But however, having said this, we do have a couple topics I wish to bring up, which are important. I have QFS narratives, and any association about that needs to be brought up, and we need to dissect that for the worldwide community. So that could be done here, at least to the degrees that it needs to be today. So the QFS. And of course, some updates with GPMS as a whole, and anyone, also any topics, just bring them up that we need to discuss on an individual basis, and just bring them to the table is what I suggest. I wish just to take these few moments before we get into it. For everyone here knows, and for anyone that watches this, GPMS is very real. It is the ascension vehicle to ascend the entire planet into the heaven on earth scenario, if you will. And this is not a fantasy. And again, using Lee's words, it is the hope being actualized. Now, having said this, to effect GPMS.world into this reality, there are divine attributes that energetically does it and supports it. And one of these attributes is the activations that we do, and that I put out mostly on the Facebook timeline. These are divine activations that has the direct cause and effect into creation, and also to facilitate the GPMS reality for all. And having said this, we do many very important, very complex co-creator activations. And the most recent one, what we did is that all of us combined, the divine ones, and there's many of us upon the planet, over 4 million, that are in a very heightened state of divine empowerment, and that have been placed here divinely in this linear time to facilitate the GPMS world. Now, having said this, when we do these activations, it's a combination of those that are divinely called and that are in alignment with us. And when I say what is divinely called, when I put out an activation post on Facebook, those that are supposed to see it do see it. And then they are in alignment and they contribute to the certain activations. So the most recent activation, what we did is the entire internet and the electrical grid upon the planet. It was intentionally negated as well, more biased towards the negative side. And everything is energy. And what this was doing is it's like a brainwashing, and there is the overbalance of, if we wish, for this for simplicity's sake, when there is an overbalance of negative charged ions or electrons, if you will, which is what they are if we use this analogy, what you have, it has a dampening effect upon humanity, upon their energetic fields, but more importantly, upon their consciousness, which disables them from seeing a higher truth, and, if you will, seeing through the illusion, and seeing also how things in this world were not right. They're not morally right in the least. So, they're even blocked
Now you're breaking up, brother.
from that. Said this most recent activation, awakening. So just to keep it simple, these activations are very real, and they are having the immediate effect. Can you hear me, brother?
Yeah, you're okay now. You come back a little bit, but you are breaking up a little bit. So keep going. If it gets too bad, I'll let you know.
No, I'm pretty well finished with that. I just wanted to share with the world, if you will, how important and how very real these activations are, and that it's confirmed even within Earth's instruments, but widespread.
Yeah, scientifically proven what that a lot of things happened. It's just people don't know what they meant, but they will. And when Rick's talking about a certain amount, it's about 3/4 negative and a quarter positive. So it was quite a heavy negative, let's say, distortion that's being taken out and put back down to neutral, natural, original, and all of the good things.
So what we're seeing, thank you, brother. So what we're seeing as a result of that, in the past several days, what I'm sharing is we're seeing more awakening and raising higher in their empowerment as well. And this is so important because with this raising of vibration, more are becoming aligned with GPMS and seeing it. So it's great. Where shall we go from here, brother?
Oh, go! You start the QFS talk, brother, and the Jazara Nizara, and we'll see what we'll take that forward.
Okay, excellent. So let's get, basically and essentially what the QFS is a quantum financial system that is run by, let's say, quantum computers. Now, what I need to say, what we're doing with GPMS, the current infrastructure is already on the planet to fully support and sustain GPMS as it is now. When we enter quantum computer, we're looking at the speed and the efficiency and the proficiency to distribute worldwide at a very fast rate, if you will, information. And I need to say this because also digital money is also an information stream. So having said this, when we look at this very simply, with GPMS, yes, in the future, perhaps, if not at the same time, there will be a quantum system that it runs on for all. However, there is a lot of misinformation and misconception that is out there in the terms with a quantum financial system and what it does for humanity. So with this, very quickly, what GPMS is doing for the people is to take the lawful control of all of the systems, which is also, if you will, a QFS. And one of the things with the QFS narrative, what they are doing is, they're saying it's a secure system for one thing. And what this does, it allows, where they have security features in it, it gives the provisions, the allowance for evil to still be in the world. Let me say, where GPMS is taking everyone, there is no evil and there is no need for any security features whatsoever. So I need to make that point. Do you have something, Lee, right there to add?
Well, let's just start with where you've already gone. Let's just take the QFS idea, quantum financial system. Now, what Rick's just said is that it's got security built in. So we believe now that the other system hasn't. This is all necessary. It's security built in. So what happened before doesn't happen again. Well, why did it happen before? Was there no security built in? Quantum systems. Now, what we're talking to is this newfangled word that's coming into the alternative media and into this new particle physics of quantum. This has been around an awful long time prior to being called quantum, and the technology has been out for an awful long time, but wasn't given to the public. Now it's being utilized apparently to help the public, even though it's been helping those that had it for a long, long time. It's being opened up to the public. So what I'm basically saying is that all of this quantum garbage, and I'm going to call it garbage, is just another way of distracting people and holding them to this new system, which is now safe and secure. It's not. It's still owned and controlled and manipulated by the same people that told you the previous system worked, and the previous system does work. It works perfectly well. Once you take away the manipulation, the control, and the negativity and the nefarious nature to those who did have control over it, but do no longer have control over it, because we do. GPMS is here. It's not actualized into reality yet because we haven't chosen it yet, but nevertheless, it's here. And therefore, all of the systems on this planet are owned by the people. And all they need to do is choose GPMS for that to actually come into actuality. So for this point in time, this QFS is simply talk. And what it is talk about what they are going to do for you. What are you going to do for you? Didn't they try to do that before? And look what happened when they did this, that, and the other before. Now, the question is, are they going to do something for you? And are you going to sit and wait for it? The same as Jazara and Nizara. Surely you've had enough of waiting for that. Surely you realize that's a fiction, as is the QFS, and what it will bring. It's just the next narrative up to Jazara and Nizara. And it's holding people back from the actual truth. What Rick is talking to here is the control of the planetary systems and the essential systems for humanity. It must be and will be under the control of the people, because the people are the rightful owners of it. The souls on this planet are the rightful guardians to all on this planet. This means GPMS is the way. It will be chosen that the people actually choose their own fate, destiny, however you wish to call it, which is divine. And this heaven on earth scenario happens. This is why it's hope actualized as opposed to just hope. All of these other things and narratives and things that you're waiting for, white hat militaries, QFS, Nizara, Jazara, are all carrots on a stick. Whilst you wait for them to happen, other things transpire, which keeps you distracted from it actually happening, because it won't. There is no energetic value of the people choosing it. It is being imposed upon you. Question why? Why is another imposition? Why are we choosing another imposition without our choice being respected? I'll hand it back over to you, brother.
Thank you so much. So what I strongly suggest, and I'll just speak for myself here, anyone in GPMS, we need to interject this truth, what we're at given divine opportunities into these false narrative fields. It's for the others that are in there to recognize, so they get in alignment with GPMS as well. So we're sharing a few tips on here for others to know, let's say, the importance of showing GPMS as the real, authentic thing in comparison to the other false narratives that are out there, and the trickery, the deceptive narratives. And at this point, I'll say one of the other red flags, if you will, with the QFS narratives is gold-back system. Automatically and instantly, you see that the value is placed externally on gold that someone else controls. So with GPMS, it's based on the unlimited intrinsic value of the individual, and it retains the value and respect of the individual. So this is important in that respect as well, but it also shows why the QS narratives are not in the people's best interests, and how they are actually not for the people. So we have identified by robbing the intrinsic value from the individuals and making them think that the value is in a gold-backed system, that is robbing them from their worth and their intrinsic value. And it's all done in attempts to control. And also where they have, again, security features within a QFS system, that is also part of the fear narrative. So, you know, also, and if ones want to go into further and look at the actual QFS and what is actually the intentions by the governments, the pharmaceutical companies worldwide, the corporations, and the banking industry, what you see is the real truth, what they wish to do it for. And one of their acts, what they have with this, is competition. Competition is separation. It is disparity. It's not equality as well. So when you look at it, you can see all of these negative details, which does not, again, support every individual. Now, just going a little bit deeper with some of the things we're seeing about the dinars, the bonds, Jacera and Nasera, ones need to realize that the darkness can buy souls. And having said this, within all of these narratives, false narratives, there are pawns that are in there and ones that are able to be bought. So in the great desperation of the darkness, they will create the illusion where money for the darkness can create it at will instantly, the same way we are doing it for the people. But the darkness will create money and give it to a few just to keep their illusion intact. And very simply, this is not godlike. That is separation, and that is inequality. Godlike is what we are doing with GPMS. Everyone is equal.
Perfect. There was a couple of other things, but Richard just joined, and then there was a few that it took me sideways. No, over to anybody else, if anybody else would like to add to what Rick has just said for a minute.
I've been hearing also
enough,
like
guys,
a lot of people.
everything that you needed to say.
2 seconds, Dean. Mariana, carry on.
Yeah, that on the bright side, I've been hearing like a lot of people that they're stating things like even like more clear and bluntly, if you want to say it that way, the other day in Mexico that I'm gonna contact her. There was a Mexican doctor saying exactly like, okay, this kills, the medicine, it gets people sick. Like we're all saying like, government, it's enslaving you. Medicine is killing you. Like everybody's trying to make it like a compact, you know, saying like, we cannot go, not even in there to see what happened. It's like, we know it's rotten. So we need to create the new. And I'm listening more and more that people are saying we got to unite and create the new. So that's like keeping me, yeah, you know, saying, okay, yes, we can make it. We're gonna make it sooner than later, I hope.
Perfect. Over to you, Dean.
Yeah, can you hear me clearly, Lee?
Yes, brother.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, I'm in the mountains. The signals are absolutely awful. Yeah, guys. Yeah, you've said enough. You guys just said it exactly how it needs to be said there, really. You've just described exactly what the other systems are. If people can't do their own research and listen to what Rick's saying and do some more digging into these areas, they'll learn and see for themselves. So please just do some research, guys, dig into these things and then come back to the GPMS and truly observe what's being put forward. It will sit within your heart the moment you observe properly.
Perfect, brother. I mean, again, just to reiterate ever so quickly, GPMS, everybody owns GPMS. Everybody is guardian. I don't want the word owns, but let's use owns for now. Everybody, GPMS is for the people, by the people, of the people, and all of these things, but it is because it's not owned by anybody. It's all of ours, which means that once GPMS comes to inception, so is everything else. The simple thing about GPMS is it observes the intrinsic value of the individual, not an extrinsic value based on whatever controller's manipulative narrative sets your value. Your value is infinite. Your value is infinite agreed when you decree and proclaim your value to be infinite. You choose your value, not somebody external to you. And this is the difference to where we've been. We've been taught, or you've been taught, that your value is limited to what you can earn. That's not true. That's an obfuscation and that's a lie. It's a fiction. So with GPMS, you choose your value and it's infinite. You unite that value with everybody else's, which is infinite. And we then become egalitarian. It's very, very simple. Everybody is equal with equal guardianship of all that is. And there is no controller, no controlling narratives. Everything is open and transparent. So all of these ideas that they are doing for you become null and void, because without us, they don't do anything. And that's the simple fact. So once we come together, they are gone. And that's as quick as we want to get together. And that's where we are right now. So we can't say it much easier than that. I know all the fear comes in with all the complexity, but it's very simple. Are you worth everything, or are you worth what they tell you? And if you think you're worth everything, then why are you listening to them? Start listening to yourself, which is what Brother Dean talked to. Anyway, that's a little bit of a segue into wherever we're going to go next. And again, I'm going to go back to you, Brother Rick, to see where we're going to pop to next.
Thank you. And at any time, anyone, if you wish to speak, just put up your hand, please, so then we're not rambling on. So connected, let's say, into the NESARA, GESARA, QFS timelines, connected into this, you know, one of the propositions that, or provisions they have in those timelines is that there's over 200 governments worldwide, you know, that are supporting and bringing that in for the people. And again, that is not the truth, what I need to say. And now, having said that, I wish to go directly to the Philippines, because this is connected, and what is currently happening with the Philippines people, brothers and sisters, coming into GPMS as well. And with this, what we have in the Philippines, let's say, if it was real worldwide, that with the GESARA, NESARA, and those timelines, well, the Philippines people and the light leaders there would not be coming into GPMS. it would have been given to them in their military connections, you know, that something was occurring, but it's not. So what is currently happening is with the Philippines, brothers and sisters, and the leaders, which is important, the leaders there of the people are now aligning with GPMS. So what this is showing is that there is actually no direction that is out there from any other source, and that GPMS is the only direction and source to take it forward. Now, this is not to say, and very importantly, this is not to say that there is not a white hat element, if you will, because there truly is a white hat element. However, it has been exaggerated for what it is, for good purposes, to keep people at least in a certain level of hope. But what we need to say with this, any white hat element that is out there has to eventually or very quickly converge with the GPMS narrative, which is the absolute truth narrative. So I need to say there is that contingent or aspect of white hats that is out there that will come in. However, the white hats aspect is not the savior aspect that it seems to be. It is a goodwill venture, an intent to keep ones aligned until the vibration is raised enough, which it is now, to take the divine plan forward. So I like to use the Philippines right at this moment as a perfect example, and also a micro premonitionary, if I said that right,
Close enough.
premonition. How's the what right? What's the right way to pronounce that?
Well, you could say it premonition or prophecy if you want.
Oh, all right. But so I'll use, you know, the perfect example right now from the Philippines in this way is that, you know, at the same time, they're uniting their people, all of our brothers and sisters with GPMS, and on their front lines with their leaders are keeping up the opposition against the governments, what they're trying to impose upon the people there. So this two-pronged strategy and approach is very important worldwide for all to take, meaning that the leaders that are putting up opposition against the governments, they need to do that just to the enough degree to hold the governments at bay while they are gathering the people with GPMS. So this is the perfect strategy. And where we're seeing this right now as the Philippines being, to my knowledge, and anyone add if I'm not fully correct on this, to my knowledge, the Philippines brothers and sisters and the leaders there against the tyrannical governments, this is the first example of this with GPMS. And this is so important because it will also carry into places like Australia and also Canada right at this time. And of course, Romania, I'll add in there, and whatever other countries. So this is setting a precedent. So Lodi, this is very important for all of our Philippines brothers and sisters to know what they are actually energizing to the great effect for the world as well. So right now, you are being the perfect example and peer for the others worldwide, what they must do with all of their leaders to get the people connected into GPMS. Lee, I wish for you to speak and elaborate some on that. Thank you. You know what I'm saying.
It's beautiful because we've got the vanguard in Thailand, where the Thailand are setting up the establishments and the manifesto, the social working of all of this. And then we've got in the Philippines, we've got the freedom fighters that are keeping up the resistance, which now have gone through the process of releasing all of the other narratives, coming together around GPMS, and all the people there have been promised so much and never got any of it. They put so much trust into other things and then lost trust and disillusionment, but they can sit with this and watch this grow worldwide. And they are the vanguard of that. So again, we're seeing unity. Not one can do this, but we've got a follow-on process with others. So I'm looking forward to see what happens. We've got Thailand moving, we've got Philippines moving, we've got India just starting, and that could be the vanguard of the numbers. I don't know. But what we're seeing is this multiplicative growing through different areas, not all from one. And that's what we've always established with this. So it's so fantastic. Lodian Chit is here as well. And I wanted to come back to what you said a little bit about 210 governments. Well, that's how many governments, or 218. That's how many governments are owned by those who want to bring in Jizara and Nizara. People need to bear in mind the governments are not governments. They are fictions owned by others, and all they do is carry out tasks given to them. Some do it differently to others, but their tasks, they are simply puppets of their taskmasters. So when they say that 210, 218 governments have agreed, I totally agree that they probably have, because they are all owned by the same people. This is where it's untenable, guys. Once you start to look into this, you'll see that it's pointless listening to any of these alternative narratives that offer you a solution. The solution we will build, or you will build wherever you are, around your choices, not what's offered. And again, I don't want to get passionate about this and drop into too much detail. But I wanted to add about the governments being owned by others, and therefore they can purport that the 210 governments have agreed because they've agreed to their plans, which have none of your interests in their heart or in their intentions in the slightest. I'll leave it at that for now, brother. And if anybody else would like to offer anything, or Rick, you can keep going. 2 seconds. If you want to offer, just put your hand up and or just jump in. It doesn't matter too much. There's only a few of us.
Yeah, just on that note, Lee, just add a little bit to this sovereignty. I think people need to start to dig deep into this sovereignty a little bit more and start to fully understand what sovereignty is. That means you're not governed by nobody. You're standing in your own power, and you need to start digging deep into yourself in regards to that and what that truly looks like for every soul. We have to allow others to find their sovereignty, their space, who they are from within them. So please start looking into that sovereignty aspect of yourself. You don't need to follow anybody. You don't need to lead other people. You just need to lead yourself.
Beautiful, brother. Sovereign above authority. Yet so many are looking to authority to save them. No, you're the savior. Go, brother.
Perhaps I wish to interject just here, just for one moment. Perhaps we can also reference the term God sovereign self. So I just want to interject that there.
God sovereign free.
Okay, God sovereign free. Thank you, Lee. Yes.
Yes, GSF, brother, GSF, God sovereign free. You are a God, you are sovereign, and you are free. When are you going to take that? And that's what Brother Dean was talking to then, is what does that mean to you? Not what another tells you you are. You are God, you are sovereign, and you are free. Take it on board, guys.
It was very interesting that this week I saw a video that was a conference that was made in the Mexico Senate on the 28th of February. So it's like really yesterday. And they were talking about, the pandemic. And actually this guy, because they were with Dr. Robert Malone, Dr. Steve, I don't know what, also from America, that flew there to talk about all the lies. And they openly also stated, and they said, we need to see and when we gave our power to other people, and they just said, when we put our trust in governments, in the CDC, FDA, OMS, whatever, we did wrong. It was like I'm hearing people talking a lot more like clear and bluntly saying, no, this bad, this good. And they were talking exactly that. I said, at what moment did you give your power to a stranger that says they're experts on something? And we can now see with the data that we have that that was wrong and that we should not do that anymore. So it's basically a lot of what I'm hearing is trying to, make people try to go to themselves and said, okay, what just happened? When did I give my power? I keep like listening, reiterating that question. When did I give my power to anybody else? So, but I also see, like, on the not that bright side, that a lot of people stay in negation, like saying, okay, I'll think about that on the weekend because now I have to work and pay the bills. It's like, the question is like how to make it like even more neon, saying like, no, please just stop now. If you don't stop now and you keep procrastinating, yeah, I'll check this out when we're staying in the same thing, I'll be happy when I get married and when I get this house. And it's like, I see like the urgency of people being, taken to just ask these questions now. Where is my power? Where did I put it? And again, who am I? What am I? And in consequence, what can I do?
Yeah, when did we give our when was the contract made that we gave all that away? And I love the weekend. If you just change the iteration of it slightly, it's the weekend. So you've worked all week and then you weekend and then you come back and work again. You can call it weekend if you will. I just call it weekend. And once you realize that, then you stop doing all of the work for what? Pay that somebody else tells you you're worth, because all your power was given away because the government and the experts know better. It's mockery. It's actual mockery.
Yeah, and the weekend actually is where you feel the weakest because you've been working all week. So when you got the weekend and you said that you were gonna look at this, so think about this, think about that. People are too, like tired, like saying, no, I just gotta rest because I gotta go again. Like, okay, how to help to get people, get out of the Groundhog Day. That one of the answers, of course, is first we should get out of it first to then show others that it can be done. No?
One of the beauties is seeing that there's a choice and an option with some knowledge. Of course, people are a little bit lax to get that knowledge because it does open up fear. But nevertheless, that's levels of consciousness that are going to go through that fear regardless. It's just when. And as soon as once they do and choose freedom, united together, and there's enough, all of this stops. It's that straightforward. Jidara, over to you, sweet sister.
Liberate freedom equally only from your inside. Nobody can authorize you. Nobody can control you. Just yourself. Just yourself by yourself. Not waiting for a government. Not waiting for any laws, regulation. You have to think and rethink by yourself. Otherwise, if you wait and wait, nobody can help you. Nobody can support you. Liberal by yourself. Sometimes we need the knowledge only from inner, not from outside. Yeah. If you're still waiting from outside, you have to lost and lost. You cannot gain any benefit. You cannot gain any knowledge. So just learn by your community. Just learn by yourself. Liberate is yours. Liberation is yours. Yeah.
Beautiful. Beautiful. And then there's a lot right there that people that think people need to be educated to a degree where they can walk sovereignly and they can do this, do that. Otherwise, it'll all fall apart. And to those people, that's just another fear-based excuse as to why you're not walking your walk. Why you're not taking the choices that you know you must take, because you're just placing others in front of you because they must do it first before we can do this. And I say that's not the case. That never was the case. That is purely an excuse to justify your own stance where you are scared or in fear of stepping out of the conformity, the morbidly conforming aspects of life. The indoctrination has been deep. And when did we give it away? It was slowly taken away over a long period of time by a very, very nefarious, dark entities that knew what they were doing, but they also knew there was a time come when that would all fail. And that's it now. They've already lost all their power. There is no more. All they've got is the fear. And there's nothing to fear except the belief of fear. So again, it's the people, it's up to the ones that are ready, they're divinely present, to step forward, knowing that they are more, regardless of whatever pangs of fear or complexity they may pull into their heads. Just follow your hearts, as Dean said. Brother, you got your hand up, Dean.
Yeah, just another area that I would like to bring in as well, to the actual sovereign souls out there that are walking their sovereignty right now, that are just hanging out in communities and coming off grid. I understand what you're doing, but wouldn't it be easier moving forward within your communities with freedom and abundance? And what about everybody else? What about the unity of all? You're not really free. You might believe that you're free sitting in your little community, but you're not truly free, because every day you've got to come out of that community into a system that's still controlled by everybody. So please, guys, you need to stand up a little bit more and see a little bit further. You've got to think about every soul on this planet, everybody out there.
No, perfectly said, brother. And for those that are adamant in their communities and the way that they're going to do it, so be it. The rest of the people around the world will join and unite, and you'll follow when you're ready to. What we're saying right now is, why wait? Why bring the fear in? Why bring the complexity in? Why bring the reasoning in when it's inevitable that the people will overturn whatever was into what will be, and heaven on earth will be created for those that wish it. And there are many, many, many out there that wish it. There's just the fear narratives and the other things that are disturbing them, distorting or distracting at the moment. Those that have seen through, have a little think about it. Anyway, that's enough of that, I think. And what Mariana's talking to as well is that there's so many things that are showing you the lies and the fictions. There's so many things that are showing you the immorality of the existing system and how it was built, developed, its intention, and what it intends to do. You only need to see one of those things to have enough information to choose differently. Once you've seen past 1, 2, 5, 10, 50, all of it being fictional, fake, nefarious negativity designed to oppress and suppress, you have no real choice left. But as we go on, we go on. Brother, over to you. I don't want to keep going down that route. Rick? Or is he frozen? Or anybody else, guys? Bring up a different, maybe move the topic forward. Oh, he's back.
I'm back here. I was just attempting for the first time ever to do a screen share. So I was going to prepare just to go down the numbers and on the GPMS website and just make some individual comments about the countries, but that's fine.
I know I can let you share, brother. Give me a second and I'll work that out if you want to.
All right. Yeah, if we wish. And of course, anyone, if you have anything else, just put up the hand and interject.
At least I thought I could. Hang on. Let me just work this out. Apps, no. Whiteboards. I thought there was a share screen. Right. Try that now, brother. You should be able to do it now.
I should be able to, you say?
Yeah. Oh, do you want me to? I can do it.
Hold it. It looks as okay. Just wait if you need. Yeah, it's perhaps easier now, so we're not hung up that you do it, I guess, brother, if you will. Thank you.
What do you want to do? Pull up the GPMS page.
Yeah, the website right to the counter with the countries. Yeah. Thank you, brother. You're amazing. Oh, but
hold on,
yeah.
I'm just letting it repopulate, assuming the country. There you go.
There we go. Thank you so much. Yeah. So of course, then I'll just wish to expand a little bit upon this as well. So, currently the overview, we have 30,570 that is showing. So with that, that is the exact number that is a reliable number, is it, Lee, right at this time?
It's reliable enough. There are some
Yeah.
people that think there's 31,500 out there, but the database is showing us about 31.3. But I know there are some duplicates and there are some mismatches. So 30.5 is about good.
Yeah, so this is the most reliable number that we use. Thank you. Yeah. So, with this, since the website's been down, we've had approximately, 2,000 or 3,000, I believe, more come in very quickly. And of course, in the last few weeks, this is only the tip of the iceberg, what is coming in from the Philippines, brothers and sisters, and India. So we have two very huge fronts that we're only seeing the front of it here yet, the tip of the iceberg, and it's trickling in. And so, with this Philippines again, very quickly, they're up to 936 from one of our GPMS members and leaders there. The numbers are in right now, hundreds of thousands to about 1 million are right at the fingertips to come in here. So that process has already begun. So meaning that it's not it is an actual number. So we anticipate an actual number very quickly with perhaps about 1 million, at least from the Philippines. Now, with the India, that is also a target. What India brothers and sisters are giving us is that, hundreds of thousands and also many millions there will come in. So, and this has already begun in these two areas with huge numbers. They're already aligned with GPMS to come in, is what I wish to say. And of course, with Thailand, amazing with the lead and still putting on a few numbers. And everyone needs to realize that the whole GPMS instrument and with the countries, it is energetically also divinely regulated to some degree, meaning that one whole country really cannot go full force to GPMS, that there is the connection also to the other countries, that they must proceed at appreciable levels so that there is not such an extremity or an extreme between the highest and the lowest. So there is a divine regulator effect, if I may. So great. And US consistently rising, which we love, and these numbers in the US will increase as well. And and of course, we have consistency with the numbers raising. Peru, I believe, is ready for another shift. I'm just waiting from brother with an approximate number on what may be coming in there now or very soon. UK, Canada, increasing consistently, slowly, but consistency, and it's important. In any movement forward, that is important, no matter how small. Australia, I anticipate in Australia, with the political arena and battle, if you will, in Australia, that also very quickly must end and will end, or either converge very soon with GPMS. So Having said this, there is a lot playing out there right at the moment, but it's on the brink of collapse as well. It cannot continue. Most of that political arena, which is acting like an opposition to an opposition with itself there. It's connected into Nasara Jasara, but again, that is an illusion. It's a falsity. So it has no foundation, the Australian movement in that respect. So that must implode very shortly too. We see Croatia coming forward a bit. With this, because I don't want to make this lengthy, what I will say is Mexico is making a huge advancement. I don't know of how many numbers are there to come in. I believe Yolanda may have more information on that. But that is increasing with Mexico, brothers and sisters. Yeah, they're at 71. So I've been watching Mexico the last few days are increasing impressively. And what's with Brazil there, Lee? It seems like Argentina, a few.
I
Yeah,
see Brazil and Argentina moving very quickly too with Mexico. I see the South Americas actually quiet but joining and then en masse. Not again, I don't know why, but I see South America moving shortly. That's all I'm going to add, brother.
yeah, just superficially, if you will, or simply, there's many movements in Peru, Argentina as well, and you had a lot of at least foundational organization with leaders for the people. But the thing again is they did not have the definite direction and solution what GPMS provides, and neither were they in the past fully open to recognize the full power of GPMS as well. But having said this, we are at this pivotal point that very quickly, as in the entire world, humanity will really not have a choice, that they'll have to make the decision. And what's beautiful about this, they can still make the decision for GPMS while they are in states of fear. And it is also GPMS that heals all of the planet instantly upon inception, but also prior to it. And is also GPMS that educates the planet prior to its inception. Just by being, it educates because it gives the direction for ones to go towards. And once they're aligned with this direction, all of the education and healing, if you will, that they need, they get it once they are aligned with this.
I just want to jump in here, and just because I know that people take things in funny or abstract and obscure ways. Rick is saying GPMS does this, GPMS does that. What Rick is referring to is GPMS is the people. The people educate the people. Once everything is opened up, the people have all the healing technologies because everything is opened up because they've chosen GPMS, and that's what GPMS does. We're not talking about another Uber government or another Uber structure that hands this stuff out. We're talking to the people's movement unity, which demands and commands the education and the freedom and the administrations, not being done for them by a nefarious, ubiquitous third party, but by themselves, by you, by everybody else joining together and delivering this. Just wanted to add that, brother.
Thank you so much, brother. Yes, exactly. And it unlocks the worldwide ingenuity and the morality of the people as well as a whole. And thank you, Lee. You're absolutely correct. It's the people as a whole with GPMS that does this, and it does it very instantly as well. You know, I'll use right at this point a quick example of assisting one over the last couple days. She did not know of GPMS, and what I do and what Femke and I do, we divinely assist and guide ones into their own empowerment. But part of that empowerment process with a certain individual, she did not know of GPMS. She had no real direction, you know, thinking more or less that humanity is doomed, if you will. But with this direction, and to keep it simple, a few hours or an hour later, she sent me a message that after she knew of GPMS and consented to it, poof, huge upliftment.
I'd like to
This is,
add to that too, brother, with the direction thing, that, and I think that's massively important that we look at direction. There's a lot of people that see obstacles are too high or too large or too big to overcome. But GPMS, again, choosing to unite with brothers and sisters gives different choices and events and options, which gives different direction, and allows those obstacles to become a lot smaller very, very quickly when you allow yourself to see that there is a new direction. And this is where hope becomes actualized. A, yes, you get hope, but B, you get an actual end game, somewhere to aim for, and brothers and sisters around you to unite with, to create that direction. So I just wanted to add that as well, my friend.
thank you, Lee, for whatever you added. I lost my
Interesting.
internet for a moment. Yeah.
Keep going then, brother. Finish up.
Yeah, China, this is very significant again as a micro indicator. So the current, I believe it's up to 18 with China. So that went from 2, you know, months ago to very, just in the last week or so, it's steadily increasing. I do not know directly where that effect is coming from China, but it is very significant, and I'm keeping an eye on it. It may possibly be from our Thailand brothers and sisters or India. However, I do not know for sure where that's coming from, but it's an important micro indicator for China as well.
Did you say 18 for China? Yes.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes. Still 18, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you know, what am I adding here?
If you've done that bit, if you've done that bit for a second, Rick, over to you, brother Dean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just to confirm what Rick was saying with the individual that sort of expanded in that moment, the moment they signed that consent. I've had this 5 to 15 times already with beautiful divine beings along the way. Quickly, a lot of things that they've been struggling with within a week of having signed consent, everything started to become more in the flow for the individual, and they've been working through the inside stuff very quickly and very easily. Just on another note with Uganda as well, yesterday we've got a beautiful divine sister in there, she's got the energy of Wanderer. Wanderer today is having a meeting with quite a few people there, so Wanderer, Uganda is on the move, and there will be another 80 or so children coming in over the next 2 days. So everyone's aware of that.
Perfect. They say in Thailand, Dima, brother, Dima. Have you remember what you were going to go into, Rick, or do we open it up to anybody else?
Let me just say, Dean just opened the door to one thing I wish to put out here publicly as well. For any that can, let's say, I'm feeling divine feminine that are wishing to assist on some level with GPMS. at guiding ones into it. What I would really appreciate is some divine feminine that have the time to, when what's occurring, I receive messages from heads of orphanages and pastors that are genuine in Africa and also in India's beginning. When I receive this, mostly in Africa, because of the translation with the language barrier, it takes, you need to have more nurturing and time and patience to explain to some of these. And having said this, what I would appreciate is if I have someone that I can refer these new ones to, that can assist them with simply understanding GPMS and also showing them, how to consent. Lee?
Yeah, no, Dean, before you continue, Dean, I was going to say, brother, that Wanderer is quite your foil for this. Wanderer is quite happy at the moment to take any and all affiliations and go through him. A, to check them out, B, to give them the information they need from a Ugandan brother, if you will. So there is that option too, to pass the details to Wanderer. But I get what you're saying. Dean, over to you.
Yeah, just adding to that, yeah, Wanderer's doing so well. He's moving so quick, and he's really the man on the ground in Uganda right now. So getting to know them and bringing them in, and then we're sort of bringing them to Wanderer. Now Wanderer's meeting a lot of them and going into a lot of the communities, a lot of the charities, and coming together. And what I've noticed is on the ground, when they're coming together and meeting, they're fully getting it better. They're not fully getting it when I'm trying to relay the information through the internet, but they're seeing it, and they're already guided towards that. But it seems to be on the ground, it seems to be a lot better. So that's where we've been sort of concentrating on and trying to get that team built in that area. So Wanderer and a few others there at the moment are really working and moving forward. Like I said, today they're having a meeting today, but I did find a beautiful divine sister who's very, very powerful that came in yesterday, and she really is moving. So there might be a few more with Wanderer.
Perfect. And I see Wanderer as the Ugandan Jidderat. So everybody can that powerhouse, like our beautiful sister. And
very happy to see the.
Okay, Jid.
But now he's got that. Now he's got that beautiful divine sister by his side, because this lady is very powerful and beautiful too.
Jid.
I'm very happy to see the video that and also Facebook that Brother Wanderer present the activity of himself and the children and the guardian from GPMS. And then when I call him and he opened the camera and he present the back of the t-shirt that is GPMS side, so that this is very good for you. This is a symbol of the God already. So very happy to see his activity. And also he present that the children in Uganda already have high confidence, and then they have a hope from the world, they have a hope from GPMS, so they have a big smiling. And then I also follow the information from Brother Wanderer, so I hope that he's the main power, the key, the executive for GPMS. This is very good power, the love, yeah, eternity love.
Beautiful. I spoke with Brother Wanderer today and actually transferred another brother that came begging, asking for donations from Facebook to me, and transferred him to Wanderer should he wish to choose. I saw the video with Wanderer and his shirts. He's got a 5, I think he managed to get printed at the moment. He's going to go for a second run. I've sent him the new logo. And he'll put that on them for the children, I think, next. So all of the children can have GPMS shirts, but this is being done and organized in Uganda by the people. It's not something that's being faked by others and given to the people to wear as a stunt. No, this is purely the people choosing it themselves to get the information out and to spread, like Jid said, their love. So wonderful things ongoing there.
His plan moving forward, Lee, is that they're bringing the team together, and they're going to be out with their t-shirts, and they're going to go and hit the communities. It's not just about hitting the communities with GPMS. They're going to try to empower each other to help each other as they move forward. So they're empowering each other all the way along. How can we help you? How can you help us? And move with that ethos all the way. It's beautiful.
I love the they're going to go out and hit the communities. They're actually going out trying to clean up, help and tidy, and do whatever jobs are needed to do to give those communities some assistance with the power of GPMS behind them, if you will. Guiding them, lifting them, uniting them, all of these beautiful things. But that's what they're working with the communities and bringing the knowledge through as well. So it's beautiful to see.
Ideally, in respect to what you're saying, you know, ideally, but also factually, what I know that is out there in this world is divine, wealthy philanthropists, if you will. And at some point, you know, if I look at myself, if I was one of those with current, you know, existing wealth, with these villages in Africa and orphanages, like with $200 US, they are fed for, you know, a couple months. And to a wealthy philanthropist, that is nothing to be able to do this, you know, for so many orphanages. And when you look at perhaps several wealthy divine philanthropists, you know, we could do such amazing work in the temporary to assist you know, Africa and also India and other places worldwide, you know. And I do anticipate, I know that element is out there, and I'm patiently waiting, and I am anticipating that, you know, at some time soon, it will come into play if it needs to, because also GPMS is going so rapidly forward. You know, it is the question, does it need to come into play, or does GPMS just go from here, boom, to inception? So we shall see with Lee's words.
We'll see, brother. We will see. But as it goes on, we don't know. So the option is there. It's always been there for wealthy ones to assist in ways that maybe aren't necessarily a vanity project for their use of the money. And I know there's a few of those that are ongoing, but that's okay. You know, whatever people do, they do. But that's not really altruism, as Brother Rick wanted to use the other day, pure altruism. Well, that's what, let's change philanthropic to purely altruistic and see whether any of those turn up in the near to not too distant. Sister Jid, you got your hand up.
So on 28, 29, and 30, we will visit the village Two Voices. Then we also summarize our result, our job from last year, and we will set the presentation to present in the village. So may I present that Brother Dean Village is the hero in our presentation also that we present in the village in the Nakhon is nearby Phuket. So we will have to visit them a team, and then the assistant of chief of the village, the assistant of the Lord Mayor, and the monk who is the developing people will welcome to this session. And then this is formal, official and formal. So Lodi, Beatrice and Mandy, this is hero and heroine in our scene. So we will present on 29 of March. That is our activities. And also Brother Wandera picture, send the 3 videos this is our activity. The money support from the member. We are very happy, and so we hope that the next activity we will launch by video. Uh, this is good opportunity to know each other. So our members can see the activity from Brother Wandera from Uganda, right? And then when we have many activities from our children, then we can show our presentation to the children in other country. From now, there are no nations, there are no borders, no government, no regulation. We don't have to find out the liberate or liberation. This is yours. This is a village. This is your inner. Everybody have a concern to the equal by yourself only, not ask for anything else, not ask for the medical, not ask for the doctor, not ask for the university or textbook. This is the natural only. Yeah, will make you prosperity, give you more happiness. Yeah, thank you so much.
Beautiful, beautiful sister. And I'm so blessed to be able to be with you guys as we do this visit on the 28th, 29th, 30th. I'm a little bit uncertain about this formality and with me, but nevertheless, I'm still looking forward to it immensely. Thank you so much. Richard, you've got your hand up.
Hi, everyone.
Hello, brother. Great to see
nice
you here, by the way. Great to see you.
Yeah, it's nice to see everyone. It's really grateful to be here. Well, I just want to make a comment about the numbers on the website. I know everything's in transition to the new website and all that, but there is a discrepancy a little bit, which is a good discrepancy because it's a higher number. If you look at the, if you pull down the see my consent, the numbers read about 31,868 people aligned with it. And I did a calculation and just went through the numbers that are on what you see when you first go onto the website with the counter, and it comes up to be 31,840. So that's just a general comment. It's one of those things that there's some discrepancies everywhere.
Yeah, I know. I've seen it before, brother. Thank you for bringing that up. Just to add to that, there's the GeoMaps numbers are slightly off too. They're not working. That's not
GeoMap. Yeah. It doesn't seem like it's. No, it doesn't.
I'm not 100% yet whether or not the counter on the website is counting single votes as a single consents as opposed to duplicates. Now, being privy to the back door, the back part or the database, I know that there are a certain amount of duplications where people may hit it twice and the consent goes through twice. I'm not where, I've always said to Brother Rick, it doesn't matter if there's a certain amount, a very small percentage of duplications. It doesn't bother the overall when there's billions. If there's 100,000 duplicates, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Same with 30,000. If there's a couple of hundred duplicates, it doesn't matter. But we haven't got anything yet to, let's say, go over the database to amend or check the entries. So going with the lesser number, the 30,530 that's on the website seems the most prudent thing to do.
Yeah, I agree. I just wanted to make the point because it was brought up to my attention from someone else that was looking at it, and they said, "Oh, the numbers aren't the same. I'm not sure if I want to do this."
People will find out.
So I'm glad you clarified. It's good to clarify the details, right?
Yeah, they'll find reasons not to, even if there's
absolutely,
or there's a comma.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I've been planting seeds from Yarmouth and Nova Scotia to Glace Bay and Cape Breton, all around Amherst and right straight to New Brunswick and as far as Montreal. So my travels, they just stop in places and just leave a card and a little flyer and away I go.
Perfect, my friend. Keep doing it. Sowing the seeds.
Yeah. Just on another note there for Richard, when your intuition may kick in at times to go and speak to people, listen to your intuition at times. Sometimes I have moments where my intuition says, go and speak to this person, and they get it. you
Yeah.
know, or they just need a little bit of support, a little bit of love in that moment,
Exactly.
and then they step over it. So
Yeah.
listen to the intuition a little bit when you're around people, and try and read the crowd when you go, the energy of the people when you're going through it. The answers are in the reading of it.
Yes.
It's beautiful, Rich.
Yes, exactly. Thank you. Oh, and I did reach out to another group that just started, it's called the ARC, with Jordan Peterson. They didn't respond back to me yet, but I left them contact information. So, and I just learned from some source here in Nova Scotia that they may possibly be controlled opposition. So.
Yeah, possibly. Are we going to go into that tonight, brother Rick? Controlled opposition and the dark narratives.
Oh, well, you know, the topic has come up. I was just going to type. I need to just step out to use the washroom, but I'm going to leave my camera and things on. But yes, where this topic come up, Richard, could you just reiterate what you said? Some opposition. I didn't fully hear what you said. Could you just reiterate, please?
Yeah, I was just talking about the ARC and Jordan Peterson and source here in Nova Scotia. I was speaking to someone up near Cape Breton. He said that he just found out that they could be a controlled opposition, this group, an
Jordan,
individual.
Jordan, another one. Yeah, Jordan Peterson's group and the ARC, etc.
Yeah, yeah.
Just having said this, I'm not so familiar with that, just faintly.
Yeah.
But as a whole, this is important. So then if I understand what you're saying, Richard, is you're sharing the confirmation of the realization by them that there is that controlled opposition component out there. Is that correct?
It's kind of more along the lines of, brother, that that people are noticing that others are. So others are noticing and pointing fingers as their control. They're questioning those that weren't being questioned before. So this controlled opposition level is not as secure as it was. In fact, it's fading, and it's failing rapidly and crumbling. But not only that, but others are realizing this term and what these minion puppets are doing in those levels. You know, again, I see that there's a benevolence to this because it brings others in, distracts them, and then they come back and they learn from it. But there is also the requirement for it to be dissipated and disappear.
Well, exactly. I'm looking at this then as a confirmation and as a micro of the macro, what is occurring worldwide then. So this is the breakdown, the identifying, you know, in the first stages of awareness is identifying that there is an actual controlled opposition. Then through the reconciliation of the process of information, then it is taking out of effect. So I take this as a confirmation of that. Thank you.
Perfect. And let's just give a quick a quick explanation of controlled opposition. These are ones that are supporting the old, that are sounding and looking and acting like they're supporting the new by giving out genuine information and then a certain amount of misinformation and a limited ceiling as to what can possibly happen, and certainly no solution that is outside of the existing negative. So what they'll be purporting to is the QFS, or they'll be purporting to Nizara Jizara, or a gold-backed product, or the white hat military are imminently going to save us all. And this is not a solution. This is the carrot on a stick. So these, genuinely the ones with millions of followers and lots of followers, how have they got so many followers when those that speak the truth haven't? Those that speak the real truth and those that try to get the real stuff out there haven't. There's only a certain amount of information that they give these controlled opposition, and the ones that try to give more are limited and censored. So there is this area in between where you can call them minions, puppets, whatever you wish, but they've been given a script and they're following it, and they're not allowed to go above it because that's the ceiling of their role within this script, and that's to give people enough hope to keep them waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and keep knocking things back, pushing things back, and giving reasons why things need to go back. And everybody keeps waiting and waiting. And this is where that position lies in this word of controlled opposition.
And a little bit, Richard, how do you feel about this organization? What does your intuition say?
Yeah, it was supposedly created by Jordan Peterson and a group of other people that was an alternative to the WEF. So it was a consortium of sorts where they're coming together and finding solutions for the world. I suspect it was a little bit too good to be true.
See, this is another thing about these finding solutions for the world without asking the world what solution they want.
Exactly. I mean, they are inviting, like you can go online, their website, and anyone can go in and ask questions. That's open to anyone, or offer information or whatever. But I done that about a week and a half ago, or a week ago at least, and I had no response back. So
yeah, there's a few that are popping up with solutions. There's a few that are mimicking GPMS. One's Creative Society, which I'm going to give it openly, used to be Alatra, and it's still running by the same rules, by offering, no, we spoke to them, Rick spoke to them early doors, and now they're offering 10,000 and mimicking what GPMS are doing, whilst again saying they've got more and looking bigger than they actually are, and giving a lot of fake footage and a lot of these things as if they have followings and backing to create the idea that they have. Again, this is a little bit of deception, and that doesn't happen with GPMS.
I've even seen Ponzi schemes doing it now. I've even seen people that are doing the whole Ponzi scheme. It's like, what?
I know, but we're going to see this.
Spirituality.
We're going to see it. We're going to see mimicry, because that's all they can do. The only thing is there's no intention behind it. So that anybody that feels into it, again, where's your role? Where's your authority? Where's your say? Anybody, you know, we're open tonight on a contributors meeting, because this is open to anybody. This is not us. Nobody's employed here. This is voluntary, and anybody and everybody is welcome here to come on here and have their own say and their own opinions and their own viewpoints. This isn't about a select few doing anything for anybody. This is about the whole coming together for everyone. Yeah. So, brother, you're back. We've gone through a little bit of controlled opposition, what it means, and we haven't. I did mention Creative Society and Alatra, but that's just as a mimic of GPMS. And Brother Dean did mention that there's a couple of others that are doing it as well, as we will see. You know, it's not going to be a surprise, but we'll see how many others fall for it when the GPMS option comes to them.
Absolutely, and thank you, Lee. Yeah, I just divinely reminded with the France component as well with GPMS. So there's been a little bit of an increase in France with the consents on the website. And I also wish, I was speaking with Beatrice, our divine sister in GPMS, just 2 nights ago. She also has instructed me that she is also getting more into some of the France groups, which is great and important, but also I wish to emphasize, and I'll go right back, let's say several years, perhaps, you know, close to a decade now with the Yellow Vest movement. And, but I go to that because you look at the numbers that was associated in France with that as well. And of course, the current situation in France as a whole, again, what is occurring in France, as what Beatrice shared with I just the other night, is even more police and firefighters again, if you will, but let's say from all of the government paid civilian positions, that they are also vacating the government, if you will. And this again is again a micro reflection of what is happening worldwide. But the France numbers also, you know, that could be an amazing variable catalyst here at any time. And I'm thinking and feeling that's why we're seeing this little nudge forward. And, you know, of course, the many hundreds of thousands or perhaps millions now of France brothers and sisters that could come in here very quickly.
Yeah, that's a bit of a tinderbox at a tinderbox at the moment. There's a lot of stuff going on in France, and that's, you know, there's a release of the anger into, but a huge resistance against the government, and a huge unity force that's trying to resist the government in France, but then could just as quickly unite in the same time. And I just wanted to add to Sister Beatrice. Now, I did join in. This is to a little bit to Richard, Brother Richard. I did join a group, and I'm not going to name any names for this one. That's supposed to be Freedom Group and uniting and etc. etc. On the behest of Beatrice last week or the week before, I can't remember. I did give information about GPMS in there. I was treated reasonably well. And then the next day I was asked to go and revisit the group and have a little look at what happened after I wasn't there anymore and what was being said to Beatrice. I was disgusted by it, repulsed by it. I have no time for any beings that would wish to mock and scorn their own sister, their divine warrior, in that terminology and in that way, with that lack of knowledge, pretending they have plenty. It's disgraceful. It must stop and cease now. But that being said, I'm glad that that made her see that she couldn't help these ones and she couldn't assist these ones because they were beyond that at this time. And maybe that's moved her towards France divinely, brother. And now she's given the information to the French teams where she would be treated as the divine warrior that she is and not scorned by such a low-level consciousness as she was in her own groups. Thank you. Just wanted to add that, brother, to that a little bit.
Just like to
Thank
add
you.
a little. I just had to add a little bit to that, Lee, as well. Obviously, very much at the very start of my moving into these spaces, that was the resistance. It was always going to be at that moment. Like I say, for most people at this point, look for the divine brothers and sisters out there. Just walk into these spaces and just look for individuals. Don't think about the whole mass in one go, because there's 5 or 6 in a space. I went into a beautiful singing space and I was a little bit disappointed, and I spoke to Rick afterwards about it. But when I realized the percentage, I got 4 people out of 100 people in that room. That's pretty good. But I forgot my own words I'm speaking now. As long as you get 4, 1, 2, 3, it makes no difference. Just go in and feel the energy, read the energy of the individual. And most of the time, they just need a bit of support, like I was saying before. They just need a bit of love. They need to listen to them in that moment and then give them a little bit of the truth. So don't worry so much when it comes to walking in and not getting everybody. You just need that one soul in that moment. And that one soul could spread it another 15 over here. Just keep going and looking for the divine brothers and sisters.
Plant the seeds without expectation is what you're talking to there, brother. Plant the seeds without expectation and let them germinate themselves. All you got to do, maybe fertilize them a little bit, but no expectation. That's what causes the disappointment. But there we go.
Yeah, exactly. I wish, you know, the beautiful, important work what Beatrice is doing. So we all have, let's say, divine designations with GPMS. So, you know, for one thing, I consider myself an overseer of the main logistics of it. So most of my time is occupied with that, while we see, you know, like Lee says, to all beautiful divine sisters, the beautiful identification, which I love, and it is so beautiful and appropriate. But having said this, so we look at Beatrice's divine designation. So what I watch as an observer, she is just so powerful that she interjects the energy into these groups. Now, as what Lee is saying, you know, at a superficial perspective or a surface, looking at the surface, you might think that it does nothing, that it got violently rejected. But what I'm saying, no, it does do things, and it begins to ripple out and change and implode anything that's not in alignment with truth. Now, what I say is not for everyone. Don't expend your energy going out and doing that unless you're individually divinely guided, like Beatrice in the past, to do that. That is part of her divine work. So you could say she's like a divine vanguard in that respect, to begin to punch pinholes, you know, into the resistance that is not moving, which is a beautiful but a very one needs to be very divinely powerful to be able to do that, the divine warrior type, which is so impressive and such a noble feature. So as Lee said, everything we do does have an effect. Even if you don't see it instantaneously, it germinates and it does proliferate. Thank you.
No, it's perfect. And the things I say about that group, I was fully aware of what's been going on there. I say that for that level of consciousness, not in judgment, just in observation. Mariana, your hand's up.
Yep, because I just wanted to express like what I'm understanding like about the micro macro, and before I couldn't get like a clear idea of what exactly what it was, knowing that all is energy and that everything's just one, and I'm just like a perspective of that one, and all I can do is go to myself and do whatever I need to do. Like everything, you correct me if I'm wrong, but everything that we give energy to, it's also pointing, like helping the collective consciousness to energize that same concept too. So it's like I'm trying all the time to be like aligned, because last week was kind of hard with all the negativity coming in and saying like, okay, all I can do, or I have like a lot of videos sent and check this out. I'm not checking that out because they're talking about the old. And if I do see that video, I energize it. And before, for myself, I guess it was my ego that it said, no, watch it all because you need more information, the more the better. And now it's like, no, that like we were speaking in other times, no, quantity versus quality. Now it's the quality, how it resonates. It's for the betterment. It has good energy, I'll go there. If not, they can tell me, but this is the truth, this is what's happening, this is reality. It's like, great, but I don't care. I'm gonna stick like with this. So like maybe stressing a little bit more what the micro macro means, that actually everything that we energize with our thoughts, with our actions, with everything, it influences the all. And as we raise our frequency, we manifest more quickly. So we should be more, no, more like being knowing what we are energizing, because it's gonna manifest quicker. If we that has the information give some energies to anything that is negative, it's like we're, like I say, it's like shooting on their foot out every day and then complaining all day because oh, my foot hurts, but you did it.
Oh, perfect. And what you're saying about raising your frequency, manifesting quicker is absolutely true. But if you're still negative, then you don't raise your frequency. So that manifestation capability doesn't happen quicker. So it's a catch-22 for those that keep watching the negative. But I mean, there's some of us that can and do, but it's from a neutral place of observation without the emotional attachments to it. But others need to watch it to release it. Others, there's many roles, but absolutely bang on with if you're in a negative or got a negative perspective or aspect, then watching all of that will add to it and you will energize it, and that keeps your frequency lower. And it's all about raising that so the manifestation comes quicker. But beautiful. Right, we're about an hour and 40 minutes in, I believe. And I thought this one would be about an hour, to be honest, but never mind. We're going to do that 2-hour job again. Is there anything else? Yeah, keep going, Mariana.
Wednesday, yeah.
Yep.
This Wednesday, last Wednesday, we did I did a live Instagram, and the good thing is, like, I got only 6 comments, but they're all good about GPMS, but it got over 300 views, so that's great. Then I'm gonna reiterate it. I'm still trying to see why in the other social media, but we've been speaking with Yolanda, because I just said that every Wednesday at 8 o'clock at night in Argentina, Argentinian time, I'm gonna just open a space for Q&A for whoever wants to do it, English, Spanish, whatever. But we also gonna do this next Wednesday at 6 o'clock Argentinian time, so it's 10 p.m. Spain time with Yolanda. So we're gonna do this. So I'm just having one or two lives at least every week in whatever language is required. But I'm really looking forward with a Clash of Titans. Yeah.
No, a joining of Titans, not a clash.
Joining of Titans,
Yeah.
no clash.
Yeah.
But the clash is like just, yeah, it
Connection.
merges in one.
Yes.
Two beautiful divine sisters, powerful, working together.
An amalgamation of Titans.
Amazon power.
Yes. Jade, you got your hand up.
You have to recognize the high vibration because it's very principal and very important for you. High vibration makes you positive thinking. High vibration, high frequency energy makes you more and more power, more energy. So normally when I have a class, I have a slide presentation as a teacher in the room in a session. So we have many pictures to present as an evidence to the members. Then they said that, okay, may I see you and may I attend a class and may I invite my friend, my daughter, sister, and my son to have a class with you. I say, okay. Then when I visit Nakhon Si Thammarat, so this is very good atmosphere. You can practice your grounding and learn more for high frequency, high vibration. So this is very good because the school is educated near the river, near the mountain, and you can climb up the top of mountain is very easy. So this is high frequency. So the members asked that may you set a class for high frequency energy, high vibration. I say yes, okay. So then not only me, so Brother Lee, you are invited to the class also, and I just translated for you. And also if Brother Dean or Brother Rick, we are welcome to our village to have a good, we can stay near the waterfall, near the river, near the mountain. So the food, the drink is very good for you, for your health. This is very healthy. Yep, for high vibration, high frequency energy. Yep. Thank you so much.
Perfect. Yeah, I look forward to it, Jade. Whatever happens, I look forward to it. So we'll we'll see how that high frequency goes. That's good.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm not.
Breaking up a lot.
I'm looking forward to that, Gina. As soon as I arrive, I'll be there. Don't worry. So yeah, guys, I'm going off into this Vipassana meditation retreat tonight. I'll be in there for 15 days. This organization is quite big around the world. They have 200 students every. I think 200 to 400 students come into this organization to go into a silent space. They will be knowing about GPMS by the time I've come out of this organization. So I'll see you all in about 20 days.
Taking some cards, brothers. Taking some cards. So you haven't got to write. You haven't got to speak GPMS. You can just hand out cards in the silence.
No, but I'm volunteering there, Lee. So
You
I'm
know what?
obviously
Take it as a
helping. I'm
joke,
giving.
brother. Take it as the joke.
All right, sorry. Yeah, well, yeah, I'm volunteering so I can actually speak and be around a lot of the
You're breaking up a lot, brother.
organizations
It's
and
robotic.
help the people that are in there sitting. But I will also be sitting quite a bit as well because I really want to go inside.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay. Well, it's nearly an hour and 45.
Is that better? Better?
No. Simply put, no.
Can you hear me?
About just about, but it's very
No.
robotic and broken up. So
No.
it was in the
Okay.
last couple of bits anyway. There might be some internet issues as we're cleaning up that negativity, of course.
No, I'm in the mountains in Madrid, just an hour away from Madrid, just above the meditation center.
So that doesn't stop the internet
It's a
issues
little
because we're
bit,
clearing up the
not so
negativity.
clear.
It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, yeah. There's many spin-off effects from our activation. We were directed here to a campground, and there was a little electrical fire, and our internet was also put out that we had to access our own instead of using from the campground here where we're at. So we see all these interesting synchronicities. What I wish to say, and this as Sister Jitteret was speaking about the positivity and Richard, you know, as well. So also what has come up, what I wish to say again is that the GPMS website, our website with the collection of numbers on it, it has an energetic value and a light quotient with it, meaning that whoever opens up the page, and definitely if they go to consent, the energetic impact is much more than what it was a month ago. And I need to say, with the increase of numbers, the energetic impact upon the individual is also increasing. So we'll see more of this experience, if you will, from one saying, you know, wow, I definitely felt this, because of their alignment with the full truth as well. So this is a beautiful attribute of it that I just wish to share, for others will be, you know, getting confirmations of this as well. So great. Thank you. I believe my list is completely, and whatever you wish or anyone else right now.
Well, again, we're close to the. Oh, go on, Mariana.
No, last thing, really short, that I hope it helped a little bit, that it's in the Telegram channel, the contributors channel, that I upload a little video that I did in English, just putting my cell phone in on the screen. It's not like the best logistically or whatever, but in English too, just saying how to consent, just that. And I did the same in Spanish, that I'm trying to download the Wednesday thing and cut that part off to just have like how to consent part, where to go, what to put, and if you get an email or not, then not to worry, blah, blah, blah. And also that I'll be contacting, like in the future, also Sister Jita, Sister Lodi, Brother Wondra, Brother Dino, so that are here, and all others that are not here, to do kind of that interviews in the Q&A. I see that there are not more questions. Okay, let's reach out to brother, sister over the world to just see that unity that is going on. So just that.
Perfect. Perfect. Brother, you got your hand up.
Thanks, Lee. I just wish to say the procurement section has been removed from the consent page. And for any that perhaps like Mariana, as you, that are giving the instructions of ones how to consent, if you had done a prior video with including that page, you may wish to revise and make it even simpler by just getting rid of that procurement and just go with the new, more simplified approach. Just a suggestion, because there is a difference
I'm sure.
now with the website, and it may be important for clarity. And
Yeah,
In English, I said that don't give much the because this is gonna be taken out. I already said that. Also, I'm saying in the videos that the web page is being modernized and everything. Just I'm saying it in the voice to say don't give, just focus on this. Your name, the nation, and that's that. Yeah.
The telephone number will also be removed. Again, it's not necessary for what it's required, but that hasn't been done quite yet. Just wanted to add that too. Dean, you were going to say something, brother?
just on another note, Den's done a video on this in English as well, which, and I'm sure Wanderer has actually done a presentation or something in writing that he's using in Africa. So we did one for the Uganda. So speak to Brother Den about this. I'm sure he's got one.
Yeah, that's fine. The more that do it, because they haven't seen it, the better. You know, again, we can say there's lots out there that stops people doing it, but we can also say, no, everybody that wants to do this, do it. So again, it's setting precedents and setting examples. It's wonderful. It's beautiful. Thank you, Mariana. Do another one if you wish. And thank you, anybody else. Should you wish to do a video or another way of presenting how you consent to GPMS, please do. Don't think that there's one already out there that everybody's seen. There isn't. The more that get this done, the better. Awesome. That's pretty much it from me, or from I. Is anybody else? Would anybody else like to say any closing comments? Keep this one down below 2 hours. That'll be, well,
yeah.
different.
I'll just jump in there quickly then, Lee. So with the website, we don't have the new one up yet. And what I wish to share with all, again, the arrival of the new website on the scene, if you will, is divinely regulated. So just everyone have patience, and we continue forward, and at the right divine timing, we have the new website prepared and put out. And so I wish just to emphasize again that there is divine timing involved with its arrival, and we cannot force things. We go with the flow in respect with this. So there will be some changes on the new website, a more of a refining, if you will, and even a more simplistic approach as well, if you will. So I just wanted to say that, and with that, love, light, and gratitude, everyone, and have an amazing day.
It's like to say that we started, or I certainly have to add this new logo, even though the new website isn't yet divinely available. The logo is. So we're starting to use this on the newer stuff and starting to retroductively put it back into some of the existing channels. But just wanted to say that too. Love, light, and gratitude to everybody. And anybody else want to say anything?
Love and light, guys. Love and light. Love and light.
Are we good? We close this one down. Beautiful. Thank you all so much. 2 weeks time for the next one, and see what happens by then.